We started off with baseball highlights. The Cubs and the Sox. Neither team looking all that impressive so far. The Cubs, they are inventing ways to lose early on here in the season so far.
So Edwin Jackson happened.
Yeah.
And, you know, with Edwin Jackson, especially when you saw him with the White Sox, you know there can be good and bad Edwin Jackson. You know, he usually can give you a good solid, usually 3 to 4 wins where he looks good. And after that, a lot can become questionable. So let's just leave it to it's early in the season. They're going to get some wins from him. Just today did not look good at all.
Yeah. He struck out, 9 and 5 in the third innings. And like you said, he's just up and down. And I guess to a way lesser level, Jake Peavy, he tends to do that sometimes. But today, he kept it rolling for the whole game.
That's right.
11 strikeouts, no walks over 7 innings. And he looked, I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, he's never going to be what he was in San Diego. You know, we won the Cy Young Award and everything. But when he's like that, he's pretty damn good.
You understand why Kenny make the trade?
Yeah, exactly.
You would never be the same. Injuries has really taken a toll over his career and his body. He would never be that same pitcher. But once he gets it going, and hopefully that he can back up games like this when Sale doesn't have a good game, you think they'll keep the White Sox in the hunt for majority of the season.
And this is that the second season coming back after the injury. You know, you can feel that he's fully healed, feels more like himself on the mound. Like, this is the Jake Peavy you've been waiting to see for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are either of you concerned about the Sox they can't score without hitting a home run? I mean, it seems like, is this going to be just the thing that's going to go through the whole year?
I hope not.
I don't think so. You know, I was really looking forward to the series in Washington, which turned out to be an absolute fiasco. But
they kind of kept it close, though.
But true. But
they were good games.
They were good
games,
games, but they just didn't quite strand a lot of men on base. Just stuff like that. But then after watching the series against the Braves in Washington, I kind of took a deep breath and said, okay, it's only April. that seriously, because that, to me, that series in Washington was going to give you a good measuring stick about them against a good team. And then, of course, the Braves roll into Washington and just absolutely.
I was telling you guys about the Braves.
Handled the Nationals.
Yeah.
Today was a shutout. So, you know, they didn't look great. You're right. There were some close games, but like you said, you can't live and die by the home run. They strained at too many runners, but it's early in the season. So the good thing is at least you're seeing players make contact. I mean, that's the key thing. Keppinger so far has looked like a worthy signing.
Yep.
He's so far the most consistent you've seen in the lineup. Even Adam Dunn, for what it's worth, is making good contact and not striking out too much so far.
What do you think about Gillespie? He looks like a pretty solid hitter.
So
far.
Yeah.
Early. I mean, it's early. Like
it's early. You just don't want to have to come back to this, you know, later in the season. Like, man, if we didn't lose those games in April, we would have been at this particular place. So, I don't know. It's as hard. I mean, they lose 5 in a row. Yeah. Get swept in Washington. Thankfully, PB didn't let them get swept today in Cleveland. I'm kind of worried, you know. I'm still not really sold on Tao Flowers, and Beckham is
out for 2 months.
Yeah, wow. I mean, man, this is not what I expected.
But it comes with the territory. It does. I mean, injuries are gonna happen. I mean, you didn't expect that to happen to Beckham, but like you said, they've got Gillespie. He's filling in. You know, he's kind of like Brent Littlebridge, who is playing with the Cubs. So think about it. This would have been a time when they would have used Littlebridge, and actually was pretty good in regards to batting average. So Gillespie has been a pleasant surprise considering that you gave up that utility player in Littlebridge. So you know, at least you can see they have a young team. They get younger every year, and it kind of baffles you because you don't expect it. Yeah. So you know. It's early. I'm not gonna panic. It's too early to hit the panic button.
And with the Cubs, they look like they're just with that closer situation. It's going to be rough over there.
It's going to be rough for a long time.
90+ losses again. It's looking like because they don't even the other guy they brought in, the Asian guy. He's hurt. Close. Yeah. And he was hurt.
Yeah.
Now. But before that, he can't. He blew a save, so he turned into Carlos Marmol. So
I think I threw out a tweet saying that loss was it's going to be a long, rough, dry beating. This season, it's going to be rough over there, man. It's going to be tough for you Cubbies fans.
But does any Cub fan truly have an expectation that this is going to be a season that they turn the corner? I don't think anybody does. I don't think that's an expectation that true baseball. Yeah,
but when is that corner turning? Is it 3, 4, 5 years from now?
They're not even right. They're not. Well, the contract with
that corner a long way down the street.
You know, it's interesting because they need to make progress at least within a year or two, given the current contract they have with their VP of operations and their general manager and everything. But that, you know, they got the golden boy. What they were looking for. That's a 5-year contract. So they need to at least come next year. They need to at least start to make that break. Like
and that'll be his 3rd season?
That'll be So he's midway through his contract. some things need to happen.
Does the Jorge Soler thing, is that a big deal? I mean, is it something that they can rectify?
He just want to let everybody know what they do down in Cuba. That's all. Hey, this is how we take care of business.
But that was like ridiculous that you go over to the other team's dugout with your bat, you're beating it. Come on, dude, that's not normal. And it's like, okay, put him on.
It's not normal here.
Put him on some Zoloft because apparently he's not okay.
But this guy's like one of their major prospects.
$30 million contract.
And I'm gonna say this: that bothers me that you're paying that kind of dough, and you're not playing in the majors.
Yeah, I agree.
I
feel like they should have broke camp with him.
Exactly.
I thought they was going to break camp with him.
Now that's an investment that makes no sense to me. You go after the hottest prospect, you lock him up, and he's not on the field. Well, everybody on your field pretty much is young anyways, outside of a couple here's and there's. Why is he not playing? That makes no sense to me.